care of our body to avoid illnesses. Let us always remember that prevention is always better than cure. Number 3. Intramuros administration was established to maintain the walls of Intramuros, to develop it, to regulate the activities within the walls, and to make it as a major tourist attraction. And number 4, Plaza San Luis across historic San Agustin Church is a cultural commercial complex. It depicts lifestyle from the 17th to the 19th centuries through art galleries, crafts, shops, restaurants, cafes, boutiques, hotels, and the Casa Manila Museum. Plaza San Luis is a virtual treasure spot waiting to be discovered. Last, number 5, the boy was astonished by what he saw inside. Never could he have imagined that. There in the middle of the desert existed a tent like this one. The ground was covered with the most beautiful carpets he had ever walked upon, and from the top of the structure hung lamps of hand-wrought gold, each with a lighted candle. Here are the answers. Number 1 is letter C for classification. Number 2 is letter D for description. 3 is letter C for classification. 4 is letter C for classification. And 5 is D for description. The aim of this kind of text is to tell why or explain how. Knowing the cause and effect of things will help you write an explanation text. Now let's read Summertime for the Young by Vicky L. McGrath. If there is something students always look forward to, with a twinkle in their eyes and a pulsating beat in their hearts, it is none other than summertime. For the young ones, it is a great time for family bonding. Everybody is busy packing bags and stacking foods in the basket for a delightful picnic or a brief vacation somewhere in the suburbs or the provinces. The rich and the famous settle for trips abroad for a taste of cold, snowy mornings, and new experience. To the other youngsters, it is the time to hold gimmicks with close friends. They stroll around the neighborhood under the moonlight, munching junk. Were they unbelievably produced dishes that can compete with those served in five-star hotels. You see them on television competing like master chefs. This is an explanation text type. because it tells further on how and why the students look forward to summertime. It is also mentioned on how the family treat it as their bonding moment by including all the activities which are related to each other and arranged in the right order. Read and distinguish the purpose of each of the following informational texts. Write E on the blank if it is an explanation text type, and X if it is not. Let's have number 1. Adventure campaign is good for families. First of all, families have no choices but to spend much time together. They are dependent on each other for solving all of the new tasks. Everyone is needed in setting up the camp. Camping also gives families a chance to experience nature together. During the day, when they go hiking or swimming, they are all busy exploring and conquering the new terrain together. The answer here is letter E, because it explains how the family spend their camping adventure, how things happen in the right order, and uses the present tense of the verb. Number 2. Diamond is the hardest stone that is not easy to break. That is why it is the most expensive gems used in jewelry. It is usually coming in a transparent with no hue or color. However, in reality, almost no gem-sized natural diamond, which is absolutely perfect. The answer here is X. This is not an explanation text type because it does not explain but uses vivid adjectives and adverbs in describing the diamond. Last, number 3. Leslie sat in front of Paul. She has 2 long brown pigtails that reach all the way down to her waist. Paul saw those pigtails, and a terrible urge came over him. He wanted to pull a pigtail. He wanted to wrap his fist around it, feel the hair between his fingers, and just yank. He thought it would be fun to tie the pigtails together, or better yet, tie them to her chair, but most of all, he just wanted to pull one. The answer here is letter E. This is an explanation text type because it explains how Paul wanted to pull the 2 pigtails of Leslie and why things happened. It presents item related to the topic in the right order. Fill in the blank with the correct words to sum up everything that we have discussed about the lesson. Here are the following words: describes, conclusion, present, explain, and explanation. Please read and answer. Blank text type, which purpose is to blank on why and how things happen. It blank items related to the topic in the right order and explain how these are related to each other. It may have a blank and is written using the blank tense. Now, let us check your answers. Do we have the same answers? Great job! After listening to this video lesson, do not forget to do this exercise as your homeschool work for today. Worksheet number 2, English 5, third quarter. Goodbye and see you in the next lesson.